Super Tuesday coverage continues here from the Oklahoman's video studio as election 2016. Oklahoma's part in the Super Tuesday coverage around the nation. The state has been declared. Bernie Sanders on the Democrat side, Ted Cruz on the Republican side. Good evening, I'm Dave Morris. Phil O'Connor here from the Oklahoman's newsroom. Phil, it's been an interesting night. We've had, I think, really good conversation with some political science experts, some pollsters, but they're providing some knowledge and some good analysis of the numbers that we see here behind us.
The main analysis being shock, and I don't think we've talked to anybody tonight that hasn't been completely surprised by our results.
Our two pollsters, Pat McFerrin and Bill Schapper, they're readily admitting that.
Yeah, for whatever reason, just the numbers don't line up with what we were suspecting we would see tonight. Talked to political scientists all around the state, and they are as shocked as anybody by what we're seeing. So it's unusual. I mean, it sounds like Oklahoma might be an outlier tonight in some ways. So
Bernie Sanders won Vermont. He also won Oklahoma. And at the Bernie Sanders Watch Party, we can bring in now Silas Allen. And Silas, what is the mood there at the district house over in the Plaza District?
Well, the watch party has changed from a watch party to just a regular party. This is a coffee shop, and before the announcement was made, people were walking around with coffee in their hands, and now mostly I'm seeing a lot of beers.
Silas, I would be not doing my job if I didn't ask you, what is the sign behind you? Who is Bay?
The sign behind me says Bernie is Bay.
Of course.
It was pretty clearly made by somebody under the age of about 35.
All right, have you spoken with anybody? Are they pretty happy with the way things turned out?
Actually, the crowd has been kind of trickling out steadily after the announcement was made, but right after the announcement came, there was quite a bit of jubilation, and I mean, the general mood seemed to be pleasant surprise.
I was going to ask you, Silas, that was what I was curious about. Did these people actually expect to win tonight, or were they just hoping for a good showing, the folks that you talked to?
In a lot of cases, no. It seemed like they were expecting their candidate to do well and really make his presence known, and he did one step better than that.
It's been a fascinating night all around, just expectations that we did not have.
On the other side of things, Hillary Clinton coming in at about 41% at this point, as most of the precincts are reporting. Our Darla Slipke is covering the Hillary Clinton watch party. Darla, how's it going there?
Yeah, well, the supporters here for Hillary Clinton obviously are disappointed with the outcome in Oklahoma, but they're actually still celebrating here tonight, and there's still quite a big crowd inside the watch party. They're excited about her performance in other states tonight. So even though they were disappointed with what happened here in Oklahoma, they said they're optimistic about the campaign going forward and still in good spirits. They actually did a toast not too long ago, popped some champagne, and we're celebrating toasting to Hillary Clinton. So there's still a lot that they're celebrating tonight despite the outcome in Oklahoma.
Phil, 2 for 2. Silas mentioned drinking at the Bernie Sanders watch party. Darla just mentioned some drinking at the Hillary Clinton watch party.
Well,
I got some water right here.
Yeah, I would expect it at the Democratic Party for sure. That's usually the way it's been at the ones I've been at. But Darla, I'm just curious, the folks that you talked to there, did you have a chance at all to talk to Patrick Bergwinkle, who's sort of been running Hillary's campaign here in Oklahoma City? I didn't know if you had a chance to chat with him tonight at the headquarters or not.
I did chat with him earlier, Phil, and he said that the Oklahoma Volunteers have a lot to be proud of, that they really rallied behind Hillary Clinton. There were a lot of people participating in phone banks, knocking on doors, and he said the volunteers here who were supporting Hillary should be proud of the work they did. And even though the outcome wasn't favorable in Oklahoma, he still also said he's very optimistic, feeling good about the campaign going forward because of other victories tonight, and he feels like the momentum is building with those victories in other states.
As Darla mentioned, Hillary Clinton certainly did rack up some victories, scoring wins in Georgia, Virginia, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, and of course a big one down in Texas.
Yeah, it's a big night for Hillary Clinton. It's again, I mean, I'm not sure what this means for Bernie going forward. A voice in the campaign. I mean, he continues to be on the stump. We've seen Hillary move closer to some of the positions that Bernie was advocating early. So even if he doesn't get the nomination in the end, he is definitely having a huge role in this campaign.
We've spoken with the Democratic side of things of Silas Allen and Darla Slipke. Let's move over to Juliana Keeping, and I believe she has a couple guests with us. Juliana is at the Marco Rubio watch party tonight. Hi, Juliana.
Hi, how are you?
We are doing well. What's the scene there?
Well, people are trickling out. The mood is subdued, but you know, people are still chatting and being friendly and all that, but nobody's swinging from the chandeliers, if that's what you're asking.
Juliana, I understand you have a couple of guests there that we can chat with.
Yes.
And who do we have?
Alrighty, we have, whoops, let me just turn the camera around there. Here we go. We have Shannon Levicki. She's 27. And she is a dedicated Marco Rubio volunteer.
Shannon, I'm just curious about your reaction to tonight's vote. I know it was I'm guessing you were hoping for a little bit better showing, but I could be wrong. What are your thoughts on tonight's election?
She actually can't hear you, Phil, so I'm going to have to ask the question.
Okay.
But yeah, he wanted to know your thoughts on tonight's election outcome.
So first and foremost, we are extremely happy that Oklahoma didn't vote Donald Trump to be #1. So we got to celebrate there at least a little bit. Going into this, we are a little disappointed. We thought with polls that we've had for the past couple months that Marco was going to be either a strong first or a strong second. And that ended up not happening this evening, unfortunately. But we do know that no matter what, with us being an equal delegate state, that we're going to continue on until July. So we got some more campaigning to do, but it's unfortunate we couldn't win in my home state. So,
Shannon, I'm just also curious, do you have any indication, I know it's very early and you haven't had a lot of time to digest what's happened, but any thoughts on why the showing wasn't what was anticipated from your campaign?
He's asked, why don't you think the showing was as good as what was anticipated for your campaign?
I would have to say that there is a lot of people, and this is definitely just my biased opinion, there are a lot of people that were uninformed about their vote. I had people who would come to me and say, I don't know who to vote for, who should I vote for? And I would tell them Rubio. And there's just a lot of people that I know would go out there and basically just vote for a name that sounds familiar. Cruz did have a strong showing with signs and other campaigns with his advertisements and things like that. And then coming into it, he's more known being from Texas than Senator Rubio is from Florida. So with Texas being a neighboring state, I think it's a familiarity with the name.
Phil, that's interesting. We've heard that from a lot of your reporters who went to the polls today. They didn't decide until they got there. Some of the, I believe the pollsters indicated that earlier in some of their comments, that once they got there, they heard that people were making the decision at that point. It's interesting to Shannon's point.
Yeah, going into these, talking to these pollsters, one of the things that they were saying was there were a lot of undecided voters late, and it was going to, that was going to be a big part of how this election went, was where the undecided people went. And apparently a lot of them have gone in a direction we didn't anticipate.
That was Juliana Keeping from the Marco Rubio watch party. Let's bring in Adam Kemp at this point. He was with the Donald Trump and the Ted Cruz watch party. Adam, how's it going?
I have shut this party down, guys. It is pretty much empty here. As you can see, I am one of the few people left remaining here after Ted Cruz was announced the winner. We had a big cheer from a few people. Donald Trump voters got very excited when he came on the TV, celebrating, cheering for him via television. We got to hear from Governor Mary Fallin, who spoke about, that she was excited that Oklahoma was relevant in this primary election. It's been an exciting night, but it has winded down quickly.
Nothing from the governor about an endorsement tonight, right, Adam?
Nothing from the governor about the endorsement of a candidate. She was actually still saying that everything was still too up in the air to even announce a winner, though the winner had been announced previously already.
I'm also curious about, I've heard about a cardboard cutout there at the campaign party.
Now we're getting into investigative journalism.
Yeah, I didn't know if you had a shot of that or not that you could share with us.
Not anywhere near me. Actually, he has disappeared. Cardboard Trump is gone.
Cardboard Trump?
He was here for a while, but has since left the building. So not sure where he went.
I remember at the Southern Republican Leadership Conference. You remember that, right?
Yes, I do.
Remember Bernie Sanders? He had that
I
great,
still remember.
Yeah, Bernie had that great cardboard cutout there, which was strikingly life-like.
There was a Carson one too that I swear his eyes followed you around the room. So.
All right, Phil, good work from your team there covering these various watch parties. We'll let them go, get back to their the work. We know they have to file some stories, file some videos, and we certainly appreciate their work in the field tonight. Interesting comments coming in from our reporters as they talk to voters.
Yeah, and we'll have a lot more coverage of this election going forward. We've got a lot of breakdown to do, precincts that people did well in. We're going to have a lot more in the Oklahoman in the days to come, and on News OK.
He's telling it like it is. We'll be back live at 10 o'clock to wrap things up. Chris Castile rejoins us from Washington, D.C. with some of his perspective. Kelly Dyer-Fry, editor of the Oklahoman, rejoins us as well. And Bill Shepard and Pat McFerrin. It'll be interesting to see what they're doing behind the door out there, as I know they're watching some of the speeches on CNN or whatever they're watching it on, and they're working the phones too.
Yeah, and the laptop, watching TV, working the phone, working the laptop all at the same time. It's like 3 arms.
I swear they have a Fitbit on too, so they're getting steps out of this.
Yeah, I'm pretty
it's
sure.
good stuff. Our election coverage continues on newsok.com throughout the night.